I was at a music festival this past weekend.
Yes.
And at music festivals, there's different levels to the musical experience. You got GA, there's GA Plus, there's VIP, there's Captains. And each level unlocks new access and new privilege.
Mm-hmm.
So if Major League Baseball was a music festival, the Colorado Rockies would be GA, bottom of the barrel, worst in the league, brutal stretch. They have no access to the playoffs this year and no postseason privileges. So we're going to kick this show off right now. Aaron Judge versus the Colorado Rockies. The Colorado Rockies are 6-28, Big Ben.
Mm-hmm.
They're on pace for 28 wins. Will Aaron Judge hit more doubles than Colorado Rockies wins?
Oh, what's a good doubles year? 40?
Here, I'm glad you asked. You want me to give you some stats before
Sure.
you answer?
Rattle them off.
Okay, in a 3-year span, I took 2021, 2022, and 2024. Didn't do 2023. Judge was hurt, ran into a fence in Dodger Stadium.
Okay.
So those 3 years, he averaged 29 doubles per year. Rockies have had a lot of injuries. Right now on pace for 28 wins. That would be historically bad. Rockies could get hot. Aaron Judge could cool down.
What has a higher probability? Aaron Judge cooling down? Probably not. He's good. He's just really good. The Rockies playing in the toughest division in all of baseball, they're not going to get hot. So give me Aaron Judge in the doubles.
All right.
It's a fact. Because you're going to see the Rockies. Listen, when you're that bad, what do? You call up prospects. You get guys that your September call-ups become July call-ups. Like, that's how it's going to work at Colorado. Man, they got a tough division.
It might be like June 1st call-up.
It's true. Drafted in the league. Like, just from the draft, and they just walk into the field. Course field. Good question.
I brought up the historically worst teams of all time. The Cleveland Spiders had 20 wins. The Pittsburgh Alleghenies had 23. We're going back to the 1800s, Big Ben. Like, this is how historically bad the Rockies are. So if they win 28 games, that means they would lose 134.
Oof.
My next question is, will the Rockies have more losses or will Aaron Judge have more RBIs?
That's a good... Give me...
And Aaron Judge right now, he is on pace for, because I know you like your stats here.
I do. Give me the data.
So let me get to the data.
He's got to be what? He's got to be on pace for something like that.
He's on pace for a 429 average, 59 home runs, 177 RBIs, which the most RBIs he's ever had is 144. I'm setting these over-unders.
You are
pretty close.
Jeez. I like this segment. Let me give me the Rockies.
Yeah.
Well, no, excuse me. Give me Judge with more RBIs than losses.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see. But they might pitch away from Judge. I don't know. I'll take the push. Can I take a push?
That's fair.
Take the sum equal.
What the Rockies have going against them, you brought it up earlier. The Dodgers, the Padres, and the Giants, and the Diamondbacks are all in that division, and they're going to play them a lot of times. So this could be a historically bad season for the Rockies. And you know who loves this? The Pirates and the White Sox, because they would be putrid any other year, but the Rockies are still in.
It's all relative, right? We're not bad. Look at the Rockies. Are we done with Judge? We're done with
Judge, but we're not done with this show. Hello and welcome to Big Ben and K-Win. Each week we broadcast live on YouTube. More of an audio podcast person? Don't worry. Download, listen, subscribe. 5 stars. If you're listening to this podcast live or on demand on YouTube, drop your comments below. I'm K-Win. He's Big Ben. We already talked about the sorry Rockies. Aaron Judge, we're going to get into some NBA playoffs and much, much more.
I got an analogy for you. I thought about this morning. I woke up. I watched both those NBA games. You know when you had a house party in high school and you're hosting? So in this case, OKC is hosting. And in this case, Boston's hosting. And everyone's having a good time. The parents are out of town. And what happens? The cops show up. Boom, everybody scrambles. What once was fun has now been obliterated. 3 people got MIPs, and you're in the principal's office. That's how it felt like in both these games. OKC, 2 minutes left. They have 91% win probability. Cops show up. Boom. Aaron Gordon, 3. Been there before. Nuggets have. OKC has it. Boston, what happens? They rely too much on the threes down the stretch. Jalen Brunson, just gritty, gutty. New York wins. I already got the return on this entire monthly or maybe in the next 2 months in those 2 games. Phenomenal games.
We've seen 3 playoff games in the semis so far, and the road teams are 3-0. I love the analogy about the house party. I would say the parents just came home too early in the OKC game. Aaron Gordon and Jokic against the younger OKC players. OKC played the end of the game not to lose.
Yep.
Like they were fouling early, which I guess it would make sense for most teams, but Denver historically this year is a very bad 3-point shooting team, and OKC is one of the greatest defensive teams this year, and we've seen in the last 10 years. So I'm surprised they chose to foul and not play it out. But the biggest thing that I saw is Alex Caruso was the number 2 scorer for OKC. He got hot. He played well. But that's where it's got to be Jalen, or it's got to be Chet, or it's got to be the coach drawing up something different, because all Denver did was blitz Shea and say Shea is not going to beat us. Kind of like what the Rockets did to the Warriors. Like Steph is not going to beat us. So that second, third scorer can't be Alex Caruso. It's got to be Chet. It's got to be J-Dub. I think they had a down game. I think they'll be back. But it did concern me just a little bit. That house party ended a little too early and not with happiness for the people who threw the house party.
Well, you saw the entire, like OKC was in those black shirts. Like everyone had it on. Like not a person in the arena that did not have one on. Here's a few other things. Jalen Williams shot 5 of 20. Probably the worst he shot all season. I think that's due to the playoffs. I don't know if you ever played in state basketball, but you know in high school where you go play at specific places and you'd already played there before, similar team, similar competition, like nothing was out of – you go to state and it's like, you know, everything's kind of out of context because the court's in the middle of a dome.
The court's different, the
exactly.
Yes.
You're like, what's going on out here? That's how it felt to me with Jalen Williams and Chet. Like they just weren't comfortable in the spotlight in that environment where you had Aaron Gordon, Jokic, Murray, all those guys that had been there before. And I think you're right down the stretch. Like that was the first time the Thunder had actually probably been in that situation in a while, right? Where you're up on a team and the narrative now with the Nuggets is that firing was genius, right? Malone's out. You got some guy. That guy looked like I don't want to be derogatory, but he doesn't look like an NBA coach, right?
Every time they show him, I'm like, why are they showing a fan?
Yeah, exactly. This guy looks like he's.
But what I saw is OKC played Memphis in the first round. They blew them out. They swept them. Denver was in tight games against the Clippers. And it just showed down the stretch. They didn't panic. They were calm. And what concerns me a little bit about OKC, it's battle of the MVPs. It's Shea versus Jokic. With Shea, he's outside. He's on the perimeter. He's got to weave his way to the hoop or shoot a 3, contested. With Jokic, it's the Murray-Jokic pick and roll.
Yep.
I'm going to clear everyone out, and I'm going to back my guy into the free throw line and shoot over him or get my way to the basket. And he had, 42 points, 22 rebounds, 6 assists. And it was a masterpiece down the stretch. And if you're OKC, you got to get out and run. You got to do your thing. And you've got to put away Denver early because if it's a tight game, you're not stopping Jokic in the stretch.
At times, that game looked like Pamplona. Have you ever been to Pamplona running the Bulls?
I haven't.
Oh, so this is what it looks like in the arena. And this is what it felt like with Jokic. Jokic's a bull. And other guys are like, trying to guard him but getting out of the way. Caruso got bullied just at times. Anyone that tried to body up Jokic, it was like you needed 4 people to stop him from getting to the hoop. And
That's still not enough.
it's still not enough. And so you got it like Hartenstein. I don't know what you're going to do, right? If you're OKC, you got to come up with a better strategy. Michael Porter Jr. got going a little bit too. The Nuggets, everyone slept on them just because of what was going on. But
I think OKC still wins the series, but I think it's in 6 or 7. I think OKC will make some adjustments. What concerns me about Denver is Michael Porter Jr. is playing with one shoulder.
True.
So he's not playing. You're playing Westbrook a lot. There's just not a lot of spacing. And Murray is great, but is he bubble Murray or is he out of shape Murray from earlier in this year? Jokic can't score. Well, he can score 40 every night, but I think the others around him aren't going to have that big of an impact. And I think OKC wins it with their depth and their defense.
In how many games?
I'll go 6.
6?
Yeah.
You're wrong.
Whoa!
Yes, here's why you're wrong. The only difference Jalen Williams, I would say that's the only anomaly. Other than that, I thought OKC, everyone else around them lived up to more or less, except for the nuances with Chet. And you go to Denver, though, that's not an easy place to play. Like, you had to win both these at home.
Clippers beat Denver and Denver.
I still say it's going to 7. I think it's going to 7. And you see a game just like we saw in Game 1 happen in Game 7, and the Nuggets win.
All right.
That's what I got.
Talking Celtics Knicks, or you want to go Warriors?
Oh, no, let's go Warriors.
Give me Warriors T-Wolves. I have size and Steph. The Rockets, with the double big lineup, Adams and Şengün, gave the Warriors trouble. Well, here comes the Minnesota Timberwolves with Rudy Gobert, Jaden McDaniels, Randall, Naz Reid. There's going to be a lot of size and rebounding available for the Nuggets. Excuse me, the T-Wolves. Steph, the Rockets could have got busted for like 3 or 4 felonies in that league off the ball for the holding, the grabbing, and the pulling of Steph that the refs just did not call. So it'll be interesting to see if Minnesota is going to say like, hey, we're going to be physical with him off the ball and hold him and see if we call it. Because if that happens, then Buddy Hield's got to step up or Pods has to step up. They need that third scorer. I mean, Jimmy, it's playoff Jimmy. He's going to get you 23, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. Dre's going to play defense. But if they're going to hold Steph and just say, we're not going to let you beat us, then Buddy and or Pods has to step up.
I really wanted the Rockets to win that series. For whatever reason. Yes. I don't know. It's kind of like...
you done with the Warriors?
It played out. Like, you want something new, right? You want something new. And OKC's a little new. But the Rockets are new. Like, I like Thompson a lot. I like Sengun. Jalen Green. Like, they're just an exciting team to watch. Like, the Pistons got bounced. But for all intents and purposes, I liked watching the Pistons. They're gritty. But yeah, Steph, I don't know. He's good. I like what you had to say about if they're just going to hold him, like the best player. Like that's your strategy. Sure.
But I heard a sports counselor or sports broadcaster say, they don't let other teams hit Patrick Mahomes or Brady, right? Like it just doesn't happen. But the NBA refs let other teams just manhandle Steph constantly off the ball. And it's wild that they don't protect a superstar.
How much of that is like, so regular season, that might be get called, right? Like, okay, let's keep everyone, we can't get anyone hurt, but playoff basketball, I mean, some of these, like, look what happened in that Knicks Pistons series. where like there should have been, I think it was Tim Hardaway Jr. should have got a foul call and didn't. There's a lot of swallowing a whistle is like a fact these playoffs. Like, and Steph Curry, I think he's a good actor. You might see him in Hollywood after his career's over. Like, let's be honest. Like, and he's not I don't want to call him soft, but I mean, I don't. Maybe he is a little soft. I mean,
Whoa. I hope he listens to this podcast.
Listen,
Tonight's game.
Steph Curry does not embody just toughness.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
He's playing with like a broken thumb.
Exactly. My point. Broken.
But how did they break his thumb? The opposing
you
defense.
think someone ranked
Dylan
on
Brooks.
Like that?
He embodies toughness. Like, you can't be a 4-time NBA champion. You can't have overcome ankle injuries or come this far without being tough. What I think he doesn't do is he's not demonstrative like Luka or Ant or LeBron or Tatum, and that's probably why he doesn't get all these calls.
That could be fair. You're saying that he has an equal reaction to whereas others might be a little more profound.
Yeah.
And that's why they get calls. Maybe you won't end up in Hollywood. Here's what I think.
Who's going to win the series?
Jimmy Butler, like the lore around Jimmy Butler, playoff Jimmy, is the story is going to be written in this series. Because you're right. It's going to be, Jimmy, we need you to take the lead horse, put on the armor, and lead us into battle here. Who wins the series? This is changing in the guard right here.
Wow,
Ant-Man. Changing the guard. Like, if that's the opportunity, in one series you have like, okay, Shy, MVP kind of battle. Here you have, is Ant going to take the next step? Or is it, at this point, old man Curry continues to win these series?
Is Ant going to slay another dragon?
Yeah.
Knocked out KD and Booker, knocked out Jokic, knocked out LeBron and Luka. Can he slay Curry and the Warriors?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
How many games?
6. We'll go 6.
All right.
Who you got?
So I was at a music festival this weekend, as I mentioned earlier. Headliner was Sublime.
Wait. That was a headliner?
Yeah.
That's not a music festival. That's a folk life.
Wow. This is LA. This is beach life. Little reggae, little ska, little rock, little soft rock. But what I didn't know, because the lead singer passed away, I don't know, in like 96, 97. Yep. His son is actually the lead singer now of Sublime, and he did a great job. And one of my favorite songs is 40 Ounces to Freedom. You know, like, drink out of the bottle, and you're free to be who you are, what you are, is what you think. But that doesn't always the case when you go down that route. But the Warriors have no interior defense, no one to protect the rim. So it's going to be 48 minutes of freedom for Ant. He's going to go for at least 30 this series. I don't think they're going to stop him. He's going to go off. However, I'm going with the Warriors in 6. They're going to figure out a way to neutralize Julius Randle. It's not going to be the same Julius Randle against the Lakers. Naz Reid isn't getting those open looks. The Lakers played no perimeter defense and did nothing to make adjustments to stop Minnesota. Steve Kerr is the master of adjustments. We saw him in Game 7. We'll see him in this series. Neutralize the others, and Ant-Man is going home a little early. I've got Warriors in 7.
You can make adjustments all day, but you got to have the personnel to go out there and execute against it. Like, you don't have the personnel. You just said it. You don't have a rim protector. You don't, like, Curry's not going to play.
They didn't have a rim protector last series. They didn't have a rim protector when they beat Boston 3 years ago. It doesn't matter when you lock in and play team defense, and you've got Draymond in the back.
You don't have the person. You don't have the depth. You don't have the. Come on, if you're going to battle, you got to look around and be like, my army's not as strong as this one. At least you have to admit that going in. Jade McDaniels, Ant, like old man Conley. Not that he's really tearing things up, but you mentioned Naz Reid.
Have more depth. What I mean about adjustments is the Warriors are going to basically get Rudy off the floor. It's going to be.
Go right at him.
Pick and roll. So he's off the floor. He's done. He can't play in the series. He can't play in clutch minutes. I think the Warriors will figure out a way with that championship pedigree, that title DNA. They're going to find a way to win. Everyone's picking the Wolves. I'm leaning towards the Warriors.
Because everyone's smart and intelligent and sees that.
Everyone also picked my Lakers. You saw what happened there.
You never want to make emotional bets or picks. This is an emotional pick for you.
No, it's a factual. Like Warriors, one of the best defensive teams. Shut down Randall.
No. That's an overstatement. They're not one of the best defensive teams. They have one of the best defensive players. That doesn't make you the best defensive team.
Look at their defensive rating since Jimmy Butler came. Okay. They're one of the best defensive teams.
I think you're right in that regard.
Yeah.
But then does that just, I guess you have two of the best defensive players.
They have two good defensive players, but they play good team defense, is all I'm saying.
All right. I'll give you that.
Okay.
You want to talk baseball? I want to talk a little baseball. Okay.
Let's talk about it.
So NL West, here's what I've heard about baseball in this first, month and a half?
Yeah.
Month and a half. The NL has maybe 8 to 9 teams better than the best team in the AL. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
There is a lot of good teams.
I think the Diamondbacks, who are 4th in the NL West, are better than a lot of the top tier AL teams.
They're probably better than the Red Sox. They're better than 100%. Probably the Yankees.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like the Yankees would be the stopgap to looking at that. Even records wise, you could argue that, the NL is far superior to the AL this year. I do want to talk AL West. Angels no longer in first place. My confidence level in them was wrong. They do hit a lot of home runs, but they're now in 4th place. But that's
Mike Trout is hurt again.
Again. Gosh. Are we going to say what would have been with Mike Trout?
Probably.
Is he going to be? I wouldn't call him the Brandon Roy of the.
No, because he's got 3 MVPs. So.
God, yeah. I mean, he's already there.
Does Mike Trout get in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Wow. It's not going to be based on his playoff numbers.
So the Angels are done.
Done.
In the AL West. Done. The A's, I watched the Mariners and A's last night. The A's have this like pesky little, again, good team. They have like they called up prospects that were drafted last year already. They're already in the lineup. They're already producing. The Rangers have a good pitching staff. They have a good lineup. If Seager stays healthy, they're good. Simeon. Mariners are somehow leading. Like I feel like we watched the Kentucky Derby, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's early in the race. You don't know what's going on. Like all the horses are bundled together. It's like you can't tell who's nose, or you have no idea. I feel like that's how the AL West race is right now. Like there's just too many horses.
Who's going to come around the corner and win the race?
Oh. If I was a betting man, Texas. They've been there before. They've won a World Series recently. There's a little more mojo. We have a text thread. It's called Mariner Softcore Porn. We have way too many guys playing way beyond their means.
So you're hitting this year.
We're hitting, and we don't know how. I think Polanco's on some sort of roids. Like they're not playing him enough for there to be a whistleblower. They're like, we're only going to put him out there and run, and he's just raking. Luis Rivas, never heard of him. He's hitting 300. Like there's just like these things can't continue to happen in a way. So we'll see.
It all evens out.
It does
in the end.
It does.
But do they have enough pitching and defense to stay in the wild card hunt?
Yeah, if Williamson continues to play, and then we got Kirby coming back. Yeah, we'll be around. We'll absolutely be around. We'll be at that winning 54% of our game clip throughout the season, and be one win outside of the wild card. I don't see anything different from.
But isn't that a successful season for the Mariners to get to the playoffs?
How is it successful? Absolutely.
Yeah.
There'd be a ticker tape parade down. If we clinched the AL West, people would go bananas. Absolutely. We just want to host a playoff series, like a real playoff series. That matters.
Not the wild card.
Not the wild card. Come on. With expansion, I don't know. How do your Giants look?
Giants look good. I think they're tied for second right now with the Padres. They're winning with pitching, and pitching. Their offense isn't clicking on all cylinders right now. Adames is struggling a little bit. Chapman's struggling a little bit. But because of their pitching, they're in every game. Great situational hitting, great defense. They look good. I think they're only going to get better once Chapman and Adames settle in and start hitting. Yastrzemski, who's like a career 240 hitter, is hitting like 280. Maybe this is a year he takes the next step. And Eliot Ramos, he was one of the game's best hitters down the stretch last year. He's hitting around 240. So nothing but upside for the Giants here. They've got the culture. They've got the pitching. We're still waiting for Justin Verlander to win his first game, though. He's pitched well. He just
hasn't come up.
He's got a lot of quality starts, but it just hasn't worked out because the offense isn't where it should be quite yet.
Who wins the NL West? Dodgers. You got to say Dodgers.
Pods win the NL West. Giants and Dodgers both are wild card teams.
Is it still called Petco?
Yeah.
We got to get down to Petco.
I know.
I mean, that's the only thing going in San Diego. I bet it's just bananas.
Yeah.
I mean, they got fireworks too. Like they got mortars. They got they got an impressive team, top to bottom.
I know. They were close last year. They've got great pitching as well. Tatis is playing at an MVP level. Jackson Merrill hurt. They're still winning. He'll be back in the lineup. Machado. Whew.
Be good.
Great time to be a Padres fan.
Go Pods.
And a Warriors fan.
Oh, to Jen. Oh, and a Warriors fan. All right, so to recap. I got Nuggets.
Yeah.
You got Thunder.
Yeah.
I got the Timberwolves. You got Warriors.
Yeah.
You want to call the East?
I was going to sing another Sublime song.
Do it.
Santeria, I looked it up. Santeria. It's an Afro-Cuban religion. And I don't practice Santeria. I don't have a crystal ball. But if I had $1 million, I'd bet it all on the Celtics. Back-to-back winners. Celtics. I don't care about this game one. It was a historically bad three-point shooting night. I know.
45 bricks? You throw up 45 threes.
Porzingis didn't play the whole game. He was hurt. They're going to make adjustments. The Knicks aren't winning when Mikal Bridges is playing 51 minutes and Brunson's playing 46. Their legs are donezo. Celtics will win that series. Cavs, they look a little banged up. Look out for my Pacers.
Halliburton. Nimhard, big game. Zags alum. Let's go. All right, let's get out of here.
What would help us out if you follow us, subscribe, and download our podcast anywhere you get your podcasts. If you're more of a social media person, at BigBenKwin _, at BigBenKwin _, make sure you follow us, like the videos. We broadcast live each week on YouTube. Audio podcast, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, and more. I'm Kwin. He's Big Ben and Ann Edwards. I hope you have a great time in Cancun.
Is that still the de facto? Cabo, Cancun, one of the two?
Yeah, I think it's because once you lose, it's just you can get a flight to Cabo the next day.
Do you think they promote that? Do they come in the locker room? Hey, we know you might lose tonight. You might feel bad, but here's a free ticket down to Cabo to stay at our all-inclusive. I would take that.
I would too.
Not Cabo.
You don't like Cabo. You're scared of hurricanes.
I am. I got PTSD with hurricanes.
What is the likelihood you're going to be in Cabo and there's another hurricane?
I don't know. I don't want to take my chances. Listen, this hurricane came boom. Kind of like how the Knicks started making threes last night. I don't know. But boom, it was there. It was done. I was decimated. The Mexican Navy's leading us out. We're sitting on a tarmac trying to grease people to get in planes. It was miserable.
You can't go in the fall. That's hurricane season.
Never going again. Well, tell Travis Store to quit getting married during the fall then.
Oh, well.
Not my fault.
I didn't know it was for a wedding. I got no choice in that.
I'm not going to Cabo for anything else other than a wedding. Well, and then maybe high school graduation. That's another story too. Yeah. All right. Let's go Wolves. Let's go Nuggets. Let's go have a wonderful day.
Let's get out of here. Boom.